The Enchanted Kingdom of Serendell.
Long, long ago, in a land wrapped in shimmering mists and ancient magic, lay the Kingdom of Serendell, a realm unlike any other. This kingdom was not known simply for its lush green meadows or sparkling rivers, but for the incredible wonder that filled its air. Magic was as common as the breeze, and every dawn brought whispers of new enchantments. The people of Serendell lived in harmony, their homes built from glistening white stone and golden wood. Flowers sang lullabies under the silver moonlight, and trees whispered secrets to those who cared to listen. Yet, despite all the beauty and magic, the heart of Serendell pulsed with the story of two remarkable beings, the powerful witch called Valoria, and a girl so breathtakingly beautiful her name was spoken with awe, Ilara. Valoria was no ordinary witch. They said she was born from the union of the stars and the earth, her hair shimmering with strands of silver moonlight, and her eyes deep pools of ancient magic. She lived deep within the whispering woods, far from the bustling towns, where the trees themselves guarded her secrets. Legends told that Valoria's magic could summon storms with a flick of her hand or heal the gravest wounds with a single touch. Despite her fearsome power, Valoria was known for her wisdom and kindness. It was said she only used her magic to protect the innocent and maintain balance within the kingdom, though tales of her fierce wrath against those who threatened Serendell were shared in hushed tones. One early morning, as the first rays of sunlight wove golden threads through the forest, Valoria sat by a crystal-clear spring. She was deep in thought, sensing a disturbance in the magical currents flowing through her beloved woods. Far away in the heart of Serendell's capital lived Ilara, a girl whose beauty was said to rival the dawn itself. Ilara's shimmering hair caught the light like spun gold, and her sapphire eyes sparkled with a rare kindness and curiosity. But beauty was only part of her story. Ilara was also brave and wise beyond her years. On this day, Ilara awoke with a strange and urgent feeling pulsing in her heart. Something was stirring beyond the borders of Serendell, something ancient and powerful. Her days were usually filled with learning the arts of music and poetry, but today she felt drawn to the stories shared by the elders, tales of a prince, distant and noble, from a kingdom far beyond the mountains. A prince who was destined to change the fate of Serendell. As Ilara prepared to leave her home to seek out this mysterious prince, far within the shadowy borders of the kingdom, Valoria felt a strange stirring in the air, as if fate itself was weaving threads that would soon bring the witch, the girl, and the prince together in a story written by the stars. The kingdom of Serendell, with all its magic and mystery, was about to change forever. The kingdom of Serendell lay nestled between towering mountains that seemed to touch the skies, and enchanted forests that stretched as far as the eye could see. But beyond those mountains was another land, a kingdom shrouded in mist and legend, the kingdom of Astrodell. Prince Kalin of Astrodell was known across many realms as a young man, both noble and brave. His hair was as dark as the midnight sky, and his eyes gleamed with the wisdom of ages past. Unlike other princes who sought only power or glory, Kalin was different. He was a seeker of truth and a protector of harmony, virtues much needed in a world where darkness crept steadily closer. Though he had never ventured beyond his kingdom's borders, Kalin often dreamt of faraway lands and magical kingdoms. Every night he would stand upon the tallest tower of Astrodell's castle, gazing toward the horizon beyond the mountains that separated his home from Serendell. There was a restlessness inside him, a feeling that destiny beckoned him towards something greater, something unknown. One evening, as the fiery hues of sunset painted the sky, the royal messenger arrived with news that would change everything. "Your Highness," the messenger spoke with urgency, "our scouts have discovered strange disturbances near the border of Serendell, shadows moving where there should be none, and a spell of unknown origin weakening our lands. It is said that an ancient magic is stirring." Kalin's heart quickened. The peace of both kingdoms might soon be at risk. That very night, while the stars twinkled overhead, Kalin resolved to journey beyond the mountains and into Serendell. He would seek the source of this magic, hoping to find the legendary witch Valoria, whose powers were said to be unmatched, and perhaps meet the beautiful girl, Ilara, whose name he had heard whispered in both kingdoms as one who held a special destiny. Meanwhile, back in Serendell, Ilara was preparing to leave her home. The elders had told her of the prince's arrival, and that the balance of magic depended on her courage and kindness. She knew that for the kingdom to survive, she might have to step into the unknown. Through the ancient forest beneath the silver glow of a waxing moon, Elara began her path to the Whispering Woods, where the great witch Valoria awaited. The trees, sensing the convergence of fates, seemed to lean in closer, their leaves shimmering with anticipation. And so, as two souls destined to meet moved closer through the tapestry of time, the kingdom of Serendell stood on the brink of a transformation greater than any had ever imagined. The forest of Serendell was alive with magic. Every leaf carried a story. Every breeze sang a song from ages long past. The Whispering Woods, named for the gentle murmur of trees sharing secrets, held deep enchantment known only to a few. Elara walked cautiously along the narrow path, her heart beating with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. She carried with her a small satchel filled with herbs and scrolls given by the elders, along with the courage that had been born from dreams and stories whispered since she was a child. The forest grew denser, and soon the towering oaks and silver-leaved maples blanketed the sky above her like a green cathedral. At the center of this enchanted realm stood an enormous ancient oak, its bark gnarled with age and glowing faintly with a soft blue light, the legendary heart of the forest. Here, as the stories went, lived Valoria, the powerful witch, guardian of Serendell's magic and protector against the shadows that threatened to disturb its harmony. Elara approached the tree slowly, and before she could call out, a voice, strong and melodious, echoed through the clearing. "You have come far, child of the dawn," said Valoria, stepping forth from behind the ancient oak. Her presence was commanding, yet her eyes held a warmth like the hearth's glow on a cold night. Her silver hair flowed like a waterfall of moonlight, and her robes shimmered with the colors of twilight. Elara bowed respectfully. "Great Valoria, I have come to seek your wisdom. The winds speak of a great darkness stirring, and I have felt its chill in my heart. I wish to understand, how can we keep our kingdom safe?" Valoria studied Elara carefully, sensing a strong magic within her, pure, untamed, but brave and true. "You carry the light that this kingdom needs," Valoria said softly, "but there is more than darkness threatening us. A balance must be restored, and for that you must meet Prince Kalen, the one whose heart is bound to yours by destiny." Just then, a rustle from the trees heralded the arrival of a figure cloaked in shadow and moonlight. Prince Kalen stepped forward, his eyes meeting Elara's with a look of recognition deeper than words could explain. "The time has come," Valoria said, raising her hand and sending a ripple of shimmering energy through the air. "Together, you must face what is coming, for the fate of Serendell and Astrodell lies in your hands." As the three stood beneath the ancient oak, the sky above crackled with magic and promise. The story of two kingdoms intertwined was just beginning, and the journey ahead would test their courage, their power, and the very strength of their hearts. As dawn broke over the enchanted kingdom of Serendell, the forest was alive with a new energy, one that combined hope and urgency. The meeting beneath the ancient oak had changed everything. Elara, Prince Kalen, and the powerful witch Valoria now shared a bond that could not be broken, forged by destiny and the magic pulsing through the land. Valoria's deep voice broke the silence as they gathered around a glowing map etched in the earth. "The darkness we face is old, older than Serendell itself. It is the shadow, a force born from fear and hatred that seeks to unravel the very threads of magic holding our kingdoms together." Elara's eyes shone with determination. "How do we fight such a force, Valoria? It sounds unstoppable." "The shadow feeds on doubt and despair," Valoria explained. "But where light gathers, it weakens. Only a bond of true hearts, united in purpose and tempered by courage, can turn the tide." Prince Kalen stepped forward. "Then we must unite not only Serendell and Astrodell, but all the realms touched by this darkness. Together we stand strong." With Valoria's guidance, the three began to prepare for the battle ahead. The witch taught Elara ancient spells that called upon the elements: fire, water, earth, and air, while Kalen trained with the royal guards, sharpening his swordsmanship and bravery. But spreading the word was not simple. Many villagers feared the growing darkness and whispered rumors. Others doubted the power of a witch and a girl with the prince to truly protect their homes. Yet in the midst of uncertainty, alliances formed. The villagers brought gifts of enchanted herbs and shimmering crystals. The forest creatures, silver-winged foxes and luminous deer, offered their silent support. But the shadow wasn't idle. Deep beneath the roots of the oldest tree in the Whispering Woods, a pair of glowing red eyes watched the preparations with malevolent intent. The shadow's leader, A dark figure cloaked in swirling mist summoned tendrils of black energy that slithered toward the heart of Serendell. A storm was coming. The struggle for the soul of the kingdom was about to begin. Elara reached out and took Kaelin's hand. "No matter what happens, we face it together." Valoria smiled, her power lighting the space around them. "Together, you shine brighter than any darkness." And so, with hearts intertwined and magic awakened, the heroes stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face the shadow rising over their worlds. The sun climbed high, painting the skies above Serendell with hues of gold and lilac. The little band of heroes, Elara, Prince Kaelin, and Valoria, prepared to face their first challenge, the Maze of Echoes, a sprawling labyrinth said to test the very spirit of those who entered. Valoria's voice was calm but firm. This maze was created centuries ago by the first guardians of Serendell. It protects the heart of the kingdom by challenging those who seek its power. To defeat the shadow, you must first prove your strength and unity here. Standing before the towering stone entrance of the maze, vines twining around its jagged archways, Elara's sapphire eyes sparkled with a mixture of awe and determination. "We must move as one," she declared. "Only together can we find our way." The moment their feet crossed the threshold, the maze seemed to come alive. Whispers floated through the winding corridors, whispers of doubt, fear, and memories long buried. The walls themselves shimmered, reflecting not just images but emotions and hidden secrets. Prince Kaelin tightened his grip on his sword and led the group through twisting paths that seemed to shift and change with every step. At times, the maze mocked their fears, visions of failure, separation, and heartbreak flickering before their eyes. Elara felt the weight of the maze's power pressing against her spirit. She recalled Valoria's teachings. "Speak your truth, trust your heart, and the path will reveal itself." Taking a deep breath, Elara reached out and squeezed Kaelin's hand. "We face this together," she said. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder but clearer. The maze was testing their unity, trying to pull them apart with illusions and doubts. Valoria's voice rang through the corridors, steady and sure. "Remember, light conquers darkness and trust binds stronger than any spell." With renewed courage, the trio pressed on, their steps guided by the bond they shared. Hours seemed to pass, though time itself felt fluid within the maze. Finally, after passing through the shadowy Hall of Fears and the glittering Chamber of Hopes, they reached the center, where a radiant crystal pulsed with warmth and light. Elara reached out and touched the crystal, feeling a surge of energy coursing through her veins. The maze walls dissolved around them, and the path out glowed beneath their feet. As they stepped into the sunlight outside, Valoria smiled. "You have passed the first trial. The shadows hold weakens where hearts are true." Prince Kaelin looked at Elara, admiration and newfound hope shining in his eyes. "This is just the beginning, but with you by my side, I believe we can face anything." Elara smiled back, feeling the magic of friendship, courage, and destiny weaving a shield stronger than any spell. Together, they prepared to journey onwards, toward the heart of the darkness waiting to challenge them all. With the trials of the Maze of Echoes behind them, Elara, Prince Kaelin, and Valoria pressed onward toward the next challenge. Their path led them to the edge of a vast body of water, the Silver Lake, whose glistening surface mirrored the sky as if it were a second horizon. The lake was said to conceal ancient secrets, guarded by the mysterious water spirits who watched over the balance of Serendell's magic. Many who ventured too deep were lost to its shimmering depths, swallowed by enchantments older than memory. Valoria paused at the shore, sensing the lake's restless energy. "The shadow's influence reaches even here," she said quietly. "Beneath this calm surface lies a secret we must uncover if we hope to protect our kingdom." Elara stepped forward, eyes reflecting the silver light. "How do we find this secret?" "The answer lies beneath," Valoria replied, raising a delicate hand to summon a swirl of air that danced like mist over the water. "But it will not reveal itself easily." Prince Kaelin knelt at the lake's edge, his reflection dancing on the surface. "I will dive and seek the spirit's guidance," he said, determination shining bright. As he plunged beneath the cool surface, the world transformed. Light fractured into brilliant shards and mysterious figures swam around him. Ethereal beings formed of water and light, their voices a melody carried by currents. The largest spirit surfaced gently beside him, her eyes shimmering like the depths themselves. "Prince Kaelin," she spoke softly, "the shadow seeks to claim the Heartstone. the source of Serendell's magic hidden beneath this lake. Only those united in heart and purpose may wield its power. Meanwhile, above the water, Alara and Valoria kept watch, their spirits intertwined with the magic surrounding the lake. After what seemed like an eternity, Kaelin emerged, cradling a glowing crystal, the Heartstone, pulsing with vibrant energy. "The shadow grows stronger," he said, breathless but triumphant. "But with the Heartstone, we can restore balance." Valoria smiled, her eyes gleaming with pride and hope. "This is the turning point. Our kingdom's fate and the future of all Serendell are in your hands." Alara stepped closer, her heart swelling with strength and conviction. "Then we must move swiftly. The final battle awaits." Together they gazed across Silver Lake, a symbol of hope, magic, and the courage that would carry them through the coming darkness. The air grew heavy with tension as Alara, Prince Kaelin, and Valoria journeyed toward the heart of the kingdom, where the shadow's influence was strongest. The peaceful fields and sparkling rivers they once knew bore signs of decay. The flowers wilted and the skies dulled under a creeping shadow. Valoria's voice was steady but grave. "The shadow's power has reached its peak. Soon it will try to claim the Heartstone and plunge Serendell into darkness." Alara tightened her grip on the glowing crystal. "We must rally the people and all those who believe in the light. Together we can withstand the coming storm." Prince Kaelin nodded in agreement. Growing up within the noble walls of Astrodel had taught him the value of unity and courage. But it was here, amidst the magic and mystery of Serendell, that he truly understood sacrifice and hope. As they traveled, word of their quest spread like wildfire. Villagers, forest creatures, and magical beings flocked to their side. A growing army bound not by weapons alone, but by trust, bravery, and enchanted will. The shadow sensed this growing opposition. Dark tendrils crept from its lair, twisting the land, sowing fear and madness. Yet with Valoria's guidance, Alara's kindness, and Kaelin's courage, the forces of light stood firm. On the eve of battle beneath a blood-red moon, Valoria gathered everyone around a great fire. "This night will test us all," she said. "But remember, no darkness lasts forever. It is the light within us, that strength, love, and unity that shall prevail." Alara looked around at the faces glowing in firelight, friends, allies, and kindred spirits, and felt the truth of those words deep within her heart. Prince Kaelin raised his sword high, the blade gleaming with the magic of the Heartstone. "For Serendell, for Astrodel, for the light that unites us." A roar of hope and defiance echoed across the land. Above, the stars flickered as if in answer, and the winds carried the promise of a new dawn. The final battle to decide the fate of two kingdoms was about to begin. The horizon blazed with the crimson glow of dusk as the forces of light and shadow faced one another on the fields of Serendell. The air was thick with anticipation, and the energy of ancient magic stirring. Valoria stood at the front lines, her silver hair flowing like a river of moonlight. At her side, Alara clutched the Heartstone close to her chest, its radiant warmth pulsing in time with her heartbeat. Prince Kaelin's sword gleamed bright, a beacon for all who fought beside him. From the shadows emerged the dark figure, the Shadow's leader, a swirling mass of black mist with piercing red eyes that burned like embers. Its presence summoned cold winds that withered crops and silenced birds. "Your light will fade," the Shadow hissed. "You cannot stop the darkness that claims all." But the defenders of Serendell stood undeterred. With a cry led by Kaelin, the battle began. Magic flared like wildfire, Valoria weaving spells that shaped the very air, Alara channeling the Heartstone's brilliance to shield their allies, and Kaelin fighting fiercely, his sword striking down tendrils of shadow. The clash of forces echoed like thunder. The ground trembled beneath their feet as light and darkness battled for the soul of the kingdom. In the midst of the chaos, Alara and Kaelin found themselves facing the shadow directly. Together, they channeled the power of the Heartstone, their strength and unity forming a radiant beam that pierced the darkness. The shadow shrieked, its form unraveling in the brilliance of their combined magic. With one final surge, the darkness broke, dissolving like mist under the morning sun. Silence fell. The clouds parted and the stars reappeared, twinkling with renewed hope. Valoria smiled, her voice soft and proud. "The kingdom is safe once more because of your courage, your bond, and the light you carry within." Alara looked at Prince Kaelin, their hands clasped tightly. "Together we can face anything." And so, with peace restored and magic shining brighter than ever, The kingdom of Serendell and the land of Astrodel flourished, forever united by a powerful witch, a beautiful girl, and a brave prince who changed their world. With the shadow vanquished and the kingdoms of Serendell and Astrodel united, the land breathed a sigh of relief. The skies were clearer. The rivers flowed sparkling and pure, and the forests sang once again under the watchful gaze of Valoria. But as morning light spilled over the horizon, a new kind of magic began to awaken. One that was quieter, subtler, and yet just as powerful. Elara stood atop a hill overlooking the kingdom, the heartstone glowing gently in her palm. It pulsed not only with raw magic, but with the stories and hopes of all those who had fought and believed. Beside her, Prince Kalen watched the village below, where children laughed and danced in the streets. "The battle may be over," he said softly, "but our journey is just beginning." Valoria stepped forward, her silver eyes thoughtful. Darkness was not the only force stirring in the world. Magic always changes, growing, shifting, and sometimes hiding new secrets. Elara's gaze narrowed with curiosity. "What do you sense, Valoria?" The Heartstone revealed hints of a path yet untraveled, a hidden realm beneath the stars where forgotten magic sleeps. To truly protect our world, we must seek it out and understand its power. The three looked to the sky, where constellations twinkled with ancient wisdom. Their adventure, they realized, was far from over. In the days that followed, the kingdom celebrated its peace, but beneath the joy stirred a quiet anticipation, a promise that magic and mystery would continue to shape their fates, testing courage, friendship, and the strength of hearts united. Elara, Prince Kalen, and Valoria prepared for the next chapter of their story, one woven with wonder, challenges, and the infinite possibilities of a world where light and magic were forever entwined. Time flowed like a gentle river through the kingdoms of Serendell and Astrodel. Seasons changed, flowers bloomed and faded, and beneath the ever-watchful skies, the people lived in harmony, blessed by the magic that Elara, Prince Kalen, and Valoria had fought to protect. The trio had become legends, their names whispered with reverence around glowing hearthfires and sung in joyful festivals. Yet beyond their heroic tales, they remained humble souls, bound by friendship, courage, and a deep love for the world they had saved. One evening, beneath a sky scattered with countless stars, the three stood once again beneath the ancient oak in the Whispering Woods, the place where their journey had transformed from prophecy to reality. Valoria's voice, calm and wise, wove through the stillness. "The magic of Serendell and Astrodel is now stronger than ever, nurtured by your hearts and the bond you share. But true power lies not in spells or swords, but in hope, love, and unity." Elara stepped forward, her eyes reflecting the infinite stars above. "We faced shadow and fear, but light always prevailed because we stood together." Prince Kalen smiled, the warmth of friendship and peace shining for all to see. "Our kingdoms are one now, a shining example that even the darkest night cannot last beyond the dawn." From the Heartstone in Elara's hands, a soft radiance spilled forth, a light that whispered of countless stories yet to come, endless adventures waiting to bloom in the hearts of those who dared dream. Valoria held out her hand. "Let this light be a reminder that magic is eternal, and so is the courage within you all." Their hands together sparked a brilliant glow, lifting into the sky and spreading like morning light over every land, every soul. And so the story of the powerful witch, the beautiful girl, and the noble prince came to rest. Not as an ending, but as a beginning, a timeless tale carried by the winds, the stars, and the hearts of those who believe. The kingdom of Serendell thrived, forever wrapped in the eternal light of hope, magic, and love.